everyone, welcome back to Scottley Hot Rods. I'm Dr. Patrick and this is Tow Mater. Well, we've already covered the front end, the cab, the engine, all that stuff. Now we're going to work on the back end, the tow bed. Now we can't just use any old tow bed off an old wrecker because they didn't look right. This one was completely made from scratch in the cartoon, so we're going to do the same thing here out of metal. We've already kind of got a start on it. We had the bare chassis with a 2x2 frame around that, plated that with some 10 gauge metal, so we basically got a flat bed to start with. Now we're going to build the sides, the boom, the rigging, all the cables and everything, so you can kind of see how we go through all that. So let's get started. All right, so we got some sheet metal down. This is actually 10 gauge sheet. It's about 1/8 of an inch thick. Will give us a nice solid base here, so we can mount our winch and our boom. Our kids can climb around on it, won't tear it up, none. Same for the back part here, pretty heavy stuff. In the real wrecker, it would be pretty heavy, just anything from coming into the cab. We're doing this for longevity and strength. It would be the same on the sides too, a lot of good 10 gauge stuff. So I'm going to get this tack welded down, then we'll show you how we design the side beds. This all in place, just a few tacks. We won't weld everything until we get all the structure done, and we'll make sure it's all good and square and stays that way. So I'll pull all these braces off, clamps, and then we'll start building the side beds. Okay, so I got this side made. We already had a template for what we wanted to do with this, just made out of cardboard. So laid this out on some 10 gauge, cut it with cut-off saw and plasma cutter, laid it right up here nice and squared everything up. I'm going to cut the other one now so you can watch how we do that. We'll set it up and we'll have both bed sides done. And there you go. We got the other side cut out. Now I've just got to clean up the edges, cut open the wheel well once we measure for that, and it'll be ready to go on. Okay, we got both bed sides on. Everything's welded in. Got our rear bumper area done. Our small fender extensions, steps, that's all done. All of these areas here are super smooth, so nobody can cut themselves as they're moving their hands alongside of it. It's good and solid. Gives us a good base to now mount our winch. And then the headache rack, which holds all the pulleys and cables and lights and stuff. So there we go, the side of Mater's bed. Apologize, the lift's in the way, but can't help that. Everything's welded up. Now, if we only had a winch, which we do, there's our big old Tulsa winch. Not going to be operable, but it's big. It looks pretty cool. So it's going to go right there. And there it is, along with the headache rack. Why do they call that a headache rack? Well, probably if you hit your head on it, it would hurt. You get a headache. Or it keeps you from, if you flip the car over, it helps prevent you from smashing your head and getting a headache. I don't know. I'm making this up. But there it is. Just got to weld them down. Put some little tabs on the winch to bolt it in place. Weld those to the floor. And then we can start getting ready to make the boom and the pulleys and all the fun stuff that goes on back here. So stay tuned for that. Okay, now we're going to cut a hole in the side of the bed and put our gas filler insert into this spot. insert that we already made. Little fine tuning. There we go. Too far. Too over. Too far again. Slowly sneak up on it here. Ah. There we go. Another adjustment. What I do with my gas cap. I just got to weld that up. And I'll have a fake gas filler. The real fuel tank is on the other side, hidden with an interlock panel in the bed so that people can't come up and play with it. This will be locked from underneath. They won't be able to screw this back off, but it will just be for looks because that's where Mater had his fuel tank. So there you go. On to the next project. Okay, we're back in the shop. Got the bed pretty much done. Didn't video a lot of this because I did this over several days and bits and pieces, but let me show you around. So, took the back bumper, added a couple D-rings, big heavy duty kind. Welded those on there, got a reproduction carburetor county license plate. Hey, Sparky. We had the headache rack and the winch in place, so added a new rotating beacon, couple spotlights. Yes, one is supposed to be higher than the other. The outrigger pulleys, these do kind of rotate. Try to make everything functional, but at the same time it's a static display. There is the winch doesn't work, it's not hooked up to a PTO, although the chain drive is still there and down through the bed. And the cables that run the lift of the boom just kind of dead end under the bed. They're not attached to the PTO either. But they come up and wrap around the pulleys. So it has the right appearance. The boom does go up and down. I can lift it and lower it by hand. So it does actuate there. It does not rotate, even though it looks like it does. That's kind of a movie prop magic there. Big hook hanging off. This is off of a crane. This thing is, and I'll show you. It's about the length of my arm. It's a good 12, 14 inches. Oh, sorry about that. That's pretty big. Oversized, cartoonish. We've got it hooked to the bed right now because when these things swing around, they can do some damage, and kids kind of like to grab them and swing them and play on them. So we have to prevent that. Again, pulleys out on the end, everything kind of rigged up. I'll just show you the fuel filler is actually over here in the floor of the bed. So that's where we put the gas. The tank is underneath the cab. The one on the side that we did is just for show. This is the one that's on Mater, but it's just to pretend. We still got some body work to do on that, but this is how this is all rigged up. If we ran a PTO under it or some kind of other winch, some way to actuate those cables, we could make this work. None of this rigging is designed for lifting anything. This is actually all pretty lightweight tubing and stuff. Again, it's a static display, but there is the tow bed of Tow Mater, ready to go. Stay tuned for more.